Some people want to quench as much negativity on the internet as they can, even if it's at the detriment of genuine criticisms. It feels like for every new game that comes out, there's more hate towards them. There is? Apparently, this guy gathered all the controversies and issues for every new game. Granted, some of these are just idiotic outrage, like Pragmata, I talk about that many times already, Resident Evil 9's story length? Who complains about that? Or 007 First Light taking orders from a female. Did you not play the game, or at least watch the walkthrough, or know James Bond as a character? He's as disobedient as he can get regardless of his superior's gender. That said, the rest of these are pretty genuine. What's your point? No game seems to be perfect for everyone. No one expects them to be. That's why we point out the flaws. You can't expect a person who enjoys mostly open world games to appreciate turn-based games. Hold on. Did you not read your own tweet? That is not what those controversies are all about. They're not about people not liking different genres of games. They're about how the games do not perform as they should have. GTA 6 not having physical edition when they have been the case in all of their previous games is not a matter of this game isn't for me. It's a matter of this game has done something that is objectively worse than its previous installments. It's completely okay to not pre-order or play Wolverine, for example, if you feel like the gameplay or mission design isn't for you. I don't think you can differentiate between something that isn't for you and a flaw that is worth pointing out. Arc Raiders isn't for me, but the game is played and beloved by many. Wolfenstein Youngblood is for me, except the game is absolute garbage. I want you to please recognize that fundamental difference before you defend a game that people bash for justifiable reasons, or at least from what I saw online. Personally, after Insomniac's Spider-Man 2 being rather underwhelming, I really couldn't be bothered to care with their newest game. You do you, Insomniac. It's amazing that there are some people on the internet that chooses to coddle you from horrible opinions. If you're someone who's excited for a video game release, you shouldn't feel bad for expressing your excitement for it and play it. Wow, you're coddling people on the internet like they all just got here. Don't worry, those meanies on the internet shouldn't make you feel bad for getting excited over a video game. Dude, if people on the internet are being mean to you so much that your hype over a video game is killed, that is on you. You are letting those people affect you that way. You have all the power in the world to stay hyped and stand your ground over all the negativity, but you don't. That just means you really shouldn't be on the internet at all. Negative post always gets more clicks than positive ones. This is what I mean. Before you give advice on how to deal with negativity, you need to understand the difference between negativity and criticism. You can't even understand the post that you write yourself. You genuinely think that having a genre preference is the same as criticizing the lack of physical copies. That is a very important distinction that I really think you should understand. You're not a minority if you like a game. Enjoy the game you're excited for and don't feel bad for it. Generally, this is true, but the problem isn't the truth of the statement. The problem is why this statement needed to be said to begin with. If you need reassurance from someone that your opinion is valid, you should never be on the internet. People really need to understand how game development works before they say stupid stuff like this online. If you make bad games and they sell bad, you get fired. Wrong. You do not get fired for making bad games. You get laid off for making any game. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It doesn't matter if it sells well or sells poorly. You'll get laid off regardless. And yes, there is a fundamental difference between being fired and being laid off that a lot of people on the internet clearly couldn't tell. It's how capitalism works. Dude, you are the reason why communists are rising. No, capitalism is not at fault for people being laid off. Clueless managers, project leaders, investors, and executives that don't know what makes a good game, those are the ones that are at fault here. They're the ones that pay these laid-off developers to make games that suck. Do you think these developers work for free? No. They got paid. They got ordered by these executives to make games that they think will make them lots of money. Except they suck. The context of this conversation is an id Software developer saying that Microsoft don't understand games. No, they really don't. And they confirmed it themselves. Should the developers lose their jobs because I and plenty of people think that Doom the Dark Ages was underwhelming? No, I don't think so. It's really hard to make amazing games these days. I appreciate that id Software made something that at least tried to be fun, entertaining, and received very positively on Steam. Who I do think should be fired are the people at Microsoft who think that buying Activision Blizzard for billions of dollars is a good idea. That money could have been spent on making hundreds of amazing games, but no, let's just buy Activision Blizzard and expect them to make money for us. That's Microsoft's strategy for the last couple of years. Buy other companies and let them do the work for you. And you wonder why they are failing. There is, however, one case where I do think that the developer deserved to be fired. Not laid off, fired. This is one hell of an interesting beef. There's a game called Rideshare Stimulator, in which players operate a rideshare business transporting passengers. Nothing wrong with that so far. The problem is, according to the former lead writer Stella Sacco, she worked on a project before being replaced with AI. Or at least, that's what she claimed. What was the publisher Saber's reaction? Well, they said that they have not replaced any writers with AI. In fact, Saber's staff of writers has tripled since 2023. So the story is written entirely by real people. They're experimenting on a free write mode that will incorporate AI. Using AI for randomly generated content makes perfect sense. But the actual campaign mode is not AI generated and is written by normal people. What makes this whole hoopla so special is the Saber CEO's reaction, which is really nasty. Stella who? I had to ask Claude because I have never spoken to her or seen her. Wow. Absolutely zero respect. This guy must have really hated this employee to have him say something that callous. He eventually apologized for it, but wow. That is really nasty. Stella violated her confidentiality clause and revealed this before we were ready. So that's the reason why she got fired. She broke confidentiality and revealed the whole thing before they were ready. Yeah, sorry to say this, but these are all legitimate grounds for termination. No company will ever work with an insubordinate employee like you, and you'd be very lucky to be hired by any other gaming company if they really find out what you did here. From what I'm seeing, they didn't fire you so that you get replaced with ChatGPT. They fired you because you came to conclusions way too early and made wild claims that the company is not prepared for, while breaching non-disclosure agreements. They never said that they will replace you with AI, but what they will definitely replace you with is someone else. This whole thing could have been communicated way better so that you don't lose your job and a mutual agreement and understanding can be made. Instead, it turned into this nasty social media spat that ends up being way more entertaining as we see two clowns fighting and being completely unprofessional with each other. Moving on from internal corporation outrage, we have non-consumer outrage. I say non-consumer because this person clearly has never played the game that they're complaining. Quite an outrage over this game in this country of mine, Indonesia. Please check the phones of your children or younger siblings who play this game. It's Genshin Impact. I swear, I cannot go 1 week without some outrage involving Hoyo games. Or at least on the streams. This game very strongly supports same-sex acts and even creates images of kissing scenes between men and men or women and women. No it doesn't. I don't even play Hoyo games, but I do know for a fact that none of the playable characters have any canonical straight romantic relationships, let alone a gay or a lesbian one. That would be massively shocking news in Hoyo that even I would hear about it. Also, the games are Chinese. They're not very friendly with the concept of same-sex relationships. You know who are very friendly with relationships between Hoyo characters? The fans. This person gets outraged that one of the character who has a name inspired by an Islamic figure, Ibn al-Haytham, is turned gay by the game. That's not what happened. In the actual game, Alhaitam and his most common fandom pairing Kave are simply a couple of bickering buddies. Canonically, they don't have any romantic relationships, but they do have a fandom of Fujoshis pairing them in fan arts, just like many other Genshin pairings. Sorry to say this, old man, but a lot of repressed girls in this country really love to see cute boys doing it with each other. Admittedly, a lot of these girls are still under 18. Hey, if I say that I don't browse lewd stuff as a kid on the internet, I would be lying. But at least be safe about it. And the safest ways to go about it is to keep it all private and not say a word about it to anyone on the internet. I mean anyone. Stranger danger is also applicable on the World Wide Web. I would definitely not say a word to this insane man. How far will you go to defend the hobbies you love? Hopefully, not this far. A Houston man was arrested after threatening a public civil servant because he thought Texas blocked his anime. Joseph Roy Osmond called the Texas governor's office on July 25th with some serious terroristic threats, leaving a voicemail threatening to stab people unless they unlock my freaking anime. This doofus is charged with a third-degree felony that's up to 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. What this guy is upset about is the Texas law requiring age verification for watching adult content, which leads to many adult websites, including 18+ anime websites, blocking access to all IP addresses originating in Texas. He's not talking about all anime because Crunchyroll, High Dive, and Yomi are not blocked in Texas as of today. He's talking about hentai, and you can't access them in Texas because the websites just ban anyone from Texas. All this could have been resolved if you look up what VPNs are. They cost 5 minutes of your time and $5 per month, rather than 10 years in prison and $10,000 fine. This is really not worth threatening people over. You can absolutely defend your hobbies from government overreach. I certainly have plenty of times, including against Texas. Just please don't threaten to stab government officials. And that's all for the video today. Here's a cat. Huge thanks to all the wonderful sponsors this week. You're all fantastic. Don't forget to check out my previous videos here. Click the like button, comment, subscribe, join the YouTube membership, leave some tips, just $1 down below. And thanks for watching.